So, so as always, first it is important to develop the right motivation, and also with the right attitude and right perception, you should receive this teaching on triple vision. So, at the moment, you are receiving teaching on the first vision, which is known as the impure vision, that also has three main subdivisions, which are first, the shortcomings of the samsara, second, the difficulty of obtaining the precious human life, and third, law of karma. Today, you're going to receive the teaching on the third subdivision, which is on the law of karma. So, in the outline, it says the instruction on virtues and non-virtuous deeds and their results to clarify what is to be accepted and what is to be rejected. So, in this outline, it clearly shows or it clearly explains in detail about what is the virtues that we need to accept and what are the non-virtues that we need to reject. Actually, as you know, the whole Lamte teaching is established through the four authenticities, which includes the authenticity of the treatise. So, in the treatise, which means Master Virupa's Vajragatha or Vajra verses, in that it says, four sentient beings with the affliction is the impure vision. So this line shows the three main subdivisions of the impure vision, because four sentient beings refers to the shortcomings of the samsara, with the affliction refers to the difficulty of obtaining the precious human life, and now this one, the impure vision, which refers to the law of karma. Actually, impure vision means all the visions that are the object of our own, like our own eye consciousness and ear consciousness. So all the things that we see or we hear are impure. And in our vision, we see all these different kinds of things. And also we see happy and sad. So we see various feelings, various appearance in our vision. And all these are not created by any person, by any other person. But all these different visions or different appearance that we experience by ourselves are all caused by our own action. The great Acharya Vasubantu, in his text called Abhidhamma Kosha, in the beginning of the fourth chapter of the Abhidhamma Kosha, Vasubantu said, actually in Tibet it says Lele Jigdanatsoke, which means all the various animate and inanimate object of the universe is caused by the action. So therefore, all these are result of our own action. So therefore, all these various visions that we experience now are result of our own virtuous and non-virtuous actions. And this vision, this impure vision, can be divided into two, which are known as the illusory vision and karmic vision. So, illusory vision means something that we see which is not there in reality. For example, like at the moment, our eyes can see many different forms, and our ears can hear many different sounds, etc. So all these objects are something that are not there in reality, that are not there as an inherently existent. So all these objects that can be seen by the beings of the six realms, which are not there in reality, are impure vision or are illusory vision. So in short, the dualistic vision, these dualistic vision which has object and subject, or this dualistic vision are actually are known as the illusory vision. And then there's a karmic vision, which means actually karmic vision is kind of part of the illusory vision. Like individuals have different lifespans, and individual has um, different positions, or some has more wealth, some has not, some don't have much wealth, some has good body, some don't have good body, some has this color, some has that color, some are short, some are long, some are in different size, etc. So all these differences, like long life, short life, wealth, or rich or poor, powerful person or weak person, etc. So different being has their own characters or their own qualities. So I think these are known as the karmic vision. So in short, in our impure vision, we see happy and sad. All these feelings that we see are caused by our own actions. And the action that is committed by oneself will ripen on oneself, will not ripen on others, will not ripen on any other inanimate objects like earth or stone or etc. And it will not ripen on other sentient beings. So if one has done positive or negative actions, that result will be ripened on oneself. It won't be ripen on any others. It will only ripen on the person who has done the actions. Sometimes we are doing actions by ourselves, but not for our own sake, but for the others. But whatever action that we do for others, the result will be ripen. The result will ripen on oneself, not for the person to whom we have done this and that actions. So if we have done something good for others, then the result will ripen on oneself. And if we have done something bad for others, like in order to uh, save or for the sake of one's own friends and family members, if we get angry and harm the others, then although that action is not done for oneself, that action is done for one's own relatives or family members or close friends, but the result of that action will only ripen on oneself and it will not ripen on your family members or friends or to whom one has done these actions. And at the time of death, all our belongings or all our wealth and properties and family members or close friends will not follow us to the next life. But the action that we have done for ourselves or for our own family members or relatives or close friends or others, that action, if that action has not happened yet, then that action will follow us to the next life. Just like this, our shadow will follow our body. When we walk in the sun, the shadow will always follow our own body. The shadow will not stop following us. So similarly, the karma will not stop following the consciousness, the mental continuum, or the mind stream of the person who has done such and such action. Actually, in Bodhisattva Chayavatara, the great Acharya Shantideva said, Reshik Sante Dingila, Zatang Mizatumade, Tedatondo Chebe Dik Mise Kain Dinanes, which means in our present life, many friends and enemies or others have passed away, have died. But action that we have done for them or against them will not exhaust. It will remain with us until the result is ripened or until we are purified or if we are purified then we don't need to experience the result or otherwise it will remain until we have experienced the result of such and such actions. So at the time of death, we can't bring any object. We can't bring any of our belongings. We can't bring any of our close friends or family members or relatives. Even we can't bring our own body, which has been with us all the time since we are conceived in mother's womb. This body also need to dispose in one way or another. So only our mind stream or only our consciousness will go to the to our unknown destination. So the main thing is to protect our mind, is to protect our consciousness. If we can protect our consciousness, then we will be happy in this life and also in the future lives. If we protect this mind from doing negative actions, if we protect this mind from mental afflictions, then it means we can experience the happiness or we can have the good result not only in this life but also in the future lives because this consciousness will go to the future life, not the present consciousness but the mind stream or the mental continuum of this consciousness will go to the next life. So therefore, if there's no negative actions, then there's no sufferings. So therefore, it is important to protect our own mind. And also, it says in the uh, Vataka Sutra, actually this is a sutra taught by Buddha himself. In that it says, with the affliction of the passing of time, O king, at the time of death, property, loved ones, kinsmen, and friends do not follow. But wherever that person goes, his deeds follow him like a shadow. So at the time of death of the king's belonging, like king's property or king's palace or king's friends, family members, and subjects, their subjects they will not follow. But wherever his mind stream goes in the future, his actions will follow just like the shadow. And also in the Karmashataka Sutra, it says, the result of action do not ripen upon the soil, nor do they ripen upon a stone, but they ripen only upon the aggregates that are grasped by oneself. So actions will only ripen on the person who has done the action, but it is not necessary to ripen on the same body or in the same life, but it means it will ripen on the same mind stream or same mental continuum. Because sometimes we have done the action in this life and the result can be ripened in next life or after a few lifetimes. So it all depends. Such kind of detailed things about the law of karma is something that is beyond our thought. We won't know all these details. Like if we do this action and after how many days or weeks or months or years or lives will ripen, that is something beyond our own thought. We don't have such power to know these details. Like Buddha knows all these details, but we as an ordinary human being, we don't know when this action will ripen. And generally speaking, the action or the karma is fair to every sentient beings without any exception. It is more fair than any other law of any country in this world. Because law of a country or law of any country is managed by ordinary human beings. And sometimes they don't know who are the actual person that has done such and such bad actions. So sometimes innocent people are caught up in the prison, and sometimes the actual convicts are still roaming around freely. So it can happen because all the person who take action about the law are ordinary human beings. So they will not know all the details, but because they don't have clairvoyance, they don't have superpower or supernatural mind to know all these details. And they will only use their own uh, ordinary techniques to find out, but sometimes they could not find the actual convicts. But in the law of karma, no one can be free from the action, from the result of the action, unless and until that person has done uh, proper purification. And also, the law of any country is based on this life alone. So, for example, if a person get a punishment of staying in prison for 100 years or 150 years, and that is not possible. A person cannot stay in a prison for 150 years or 100 years because that person will die before the sentence is finished. So, but then if that person dies before serving all his or her sentence, then the law of the country cannot give punishment to their next life. But in the law of karma, whether one has ripened the result in this life or not, if we haven't received the result in this life, it does not mean we are free from the result. It can still ripen in our next life or after a few lifetimes. And also, law of karma is fair to everybody, whether one has high titles or not, whether one is rich or poor, whether one is powerful or weak, whether one is famous or not, does not matter. Whoever does the good action will experience or will get the good result. Whoever done the bad action will experience the suffering, which is the result of doing bad actions. And also, in our mundane world, sometimes we can hide doing bad actions from the uh, from the person who take actions of the law, or like people can hide doing many negative actions from police or from any government officials. But in the law of karma, we cannot hide any actions, no matter whether we do such and such action in front of people or in a very secluded place. Still, we cannot hide. We cannot hide from the law of karma. We cannot hide anything from the law of karma. We cannot hide anything from Buddha, who is the real omniscient. So, if we think on the law of karma, then it can cause us to be more careful because we can't deceive in any way. We can't deceive the law of karma in any way. Actually, I'm not saying I am following all the law of karma rules, but generally speaking, or ideally speaking, law of karma is very fair. We cannot hide anything. For example, in the teaching it says, if one has taken the poison in front of people, then it will cause pain and it can take their lives. And also, if one has taken the poison secretly without telling anybody, without disclosing it to anybody, still it will have the same effect. It can still cause stomach pain and other sufferings, and it can also take their own lives. So, whether one has taken the poison in front of people or secretly, it will have the same effect. It does not mean if one takes the poison secretly, then it will not cause you a stomach pain or etc. There's no such difference. Similarly, whether one has done the negative actions in front of people or secretly, it will have the same effect. It will cause the same result, which is suffering. And also, actually, doing the negative actions secretly will be a will be more serious action, will become more serious actions because it has twofold. First, it has the fault of committing the negative action. Second, it has the fault of not disclosing it to others. So actually, it says doing negative actions secretly can be more serious than doing it in front of people, even though the nature of action is same, but because one has keep the action secret, that's why it is more serious. So these are like the general explanation on the law of karma. And now the subdivision of this outline, which is known as produce the desire to discard non-virtues by reflecting on no uh, the actual outline is the instruction on virtues and non-virtuous deeds and their results to clarify what is to be accepted and what is to be rejected, as I've said earlier. And this has three subdivisions. The first one is produce the desire to discard non-virtues by reflecting on non-virtuous deeds and their results. And this also has three. First one is reflecting on non-virtuous deeds. Second, reflecting on their results. And third, reflecting on discarding them. No, actually, the main outline has three subjects, which are produce the desire to discard non-virtue by reflecting on non-virtuous deeds and their result. Second, produce the desire to practice virtue by reflecting on virtuous deeds and their result. And third, transform neutral deeds into virtuous ones by reflecting on them. So the first one, produce the desire to discard non-virtues by reflecting on non-virtuous deeds and their results, also has three kinds, three divisions. First, reflecting on non-virtuous deeds. Second, reflecting on their results. And third, reflecting on discarding them. So first, reflecting on non-virtuous deeds. So how to define non-virtuous deeds? Then the answer is, as it is said in the great Acharya Nagarjuna's text called Rinchen Tangwa or Ratnavali. In that text, it says, action produced by desire, hatred, and delusion are non-virtuous. As I have said earlier during the question and answer time, here the delusion or the ignorance is not all not all the ignorance. Here, delusion or ignorance refers to not knowing about the law of karma. Actually, ignorance means not knowing, and here it refers to particular ignorance, which means not knowing about the law of karma. But in this text, ignorance is translated as delusion. In the commentary text, it says, just as the leaves, flowers, and fruits arising from a poisonous root are poisonous, so are actions motivated through these three: attachment to one's own side, hatred towards the other side, and ignorance of the deed and its result. All actions motivated through these three are known as non-virtues. So in short, an action that is motivated by these three kinds of mental afflictions are known as the non-virtuous actions. And also, when we don't know about the law of karma, when we have such ignorance, then that kind of ignorance can generate the other mental afflictions such as attachment and anger. Just like if the root is poison, then all the tree trunks, trees, branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits that are produced by this root are all poisonous. So similarly, all the actions that are motivated by these poisons are also poisons or non-virtuous. And non-virtuous actions can be divided into 10 non-virtuous. There are 3 physical non-virtues and 4 verbal non-virtues and then 3 mental non-virtues. So first is killing. To have the non-virtues of killing, not necessary to kill by oneself. If one asks others to kill someone who you don't like, then if that person killed the others, then you still have the non-virtues of killing because you have asked the other to kill that person. And also, if one has rejoiced in others' killing, then that can also cause you to have the non-virtues of killing. So therefore, we must be very careful. It is always wrong to kill someone with bad motivation or to kill with anger, to kill with mental afflictions or killing the others which are motivated by mental afflictions. Such killing are always non-virtuous all the time. So even one has killed a very bad person or very harmful person, still one should not kill such person out of anger. Killing out of anger is always bad, whether one kills bad person or innocent person. So we should be careful when others kill a bad person or when the bad person got the death sentence, then we should not rejoice. If we rejoice, then we will also have the non-virtuous action of killing which is very serious. So, therefore, we should not kill by ourselves, we should not ask others to kill, and we should not rejoice in others killing. If that has killed, we should not rejoice in any killings that are motivated by the mental afflictions, that are motivated by the uh, anger or other mental afflictions. And also, to have the complete act of killing, you need, like, first you need to kill the person that you want to kill. For example, if you want to kill a person, then by mistake, if you kill the B person without any intention to kill the B person, then although it's an act of killing, but you don't have the intention to kill the B person, so therefore the action will not be a complete action of killing. So first, if one kills the person that you want to kill, and then you need the three parts: the preparation, the main part, and the conclusion part. So here, preparation part means preparing to kill, like buying weapons or etc., and or beating etc., until that person dies. All the previous actions are like preparation. Then the actual act of killing is the main part. Then conclusion part here means if one feels happy by killing that person, or if one rejoices by killing that person without having any sort of regret, then it means one has done a complete act of killing. And that complete act of killing can destroy, not only damage, but can destroy the refuge vow or bodhicitta vow or mantrayana vow. But for example, if one is driving a car, and if one is driving a car without paying attention, or if one feels sleepy while driving the car, then suddenly if you have an accident, and then during the accident, if you have killed the person who are with you in the car, or if you kill others who are on the street or who are in other car, then although you have done the actual act of killing or the main part of the killing, but you don't have the intention to kill this or that person. And also, after killing it, you don't have rejoice. You don't rejoice it. You don't feel happy. You feel very sad. You have very strong regret afterwards. So then, at that time, such killing has the main part, but that killing has no preparation part or conclusion part. So therefore, such an incomplete action of killing can damage the vow, but will not destroy the vow because the action is not complete. But sometimes, although one has not done the actual act of killing, but still one can have the negative of killing others. Like if you rejoice in others killing, then although you have not done the actual act of killing, but you have supported this action, so therefore you have the act of killing. And also, as it is said in the Abhidhamma Kosha, as I said before, I think if 100 army goes to the battlefield to fight against their enemies, and if one of these 100 army kills one of the enemy, then although the actual act of killing is done by one army, but the negative action of killing will be the negative action of killing will be all these 100 army will have the negative of killing others, because they all went there with the same intention, with the same goal. So like this, when we do virtuous deeds, when we do prayers together, then, like for example, if there are 100%, and if 100% are doing prayers together, then if they have done the prayer only one time, but since they are 100%, each of them will accumulate the will accumulate of reciting the prayers 100 times, although they have recited one time, because they are 100% reciting at one time. And here, killing any beings, whether it's insect or others, all the killing of any enemies or any beings are considered as an act of killing. So generally, uh, the act of killing is negative actions, but sometimes, in some rare occasions, sometimes killings are not a non-virtue. I think you may have heard about this 대변 인지 첨부 하려고 compassionate captain. When in the many eons before, or countless eons before, there's a compassionate captain who killed this 민나 동동제 evil person, who killed this evil person out of self-exchange bodhicitta. Because if this compassionate captain, if this compassionate captain does not kill this evil person, then this evil person will kill 500 merchants. So if this evil person kills 500 merchants, then as a result of such killing, this evil person will fall down in the hell realm and will experience inconceivable suffering. So in order to save this evil person from experiencing the suffering of hell realms for inconceivable amount of time, so out of such self-exchange bodhicitta, this compassionate captain killed this evil person with right motivation, with or out of bodhicitta, self-exchange bodhicitta. So because of this, as a result of this, this compassionate captain, has accumulated great merit. So sometimes there are such exceptional cases. Otherwise, in general, killings are negative actions or non-virtues. So now we will have a short break.